Troxler's fading optical illusion and information processing. Troxler's fading or Troxler's effect represents in the form of a blurry image of something. A person looking at his image has not to blink for some seconds to discern a depiction. Troxler's effect is a visual phenomenon of human perception people might experience while looking at the picture. When a person fixates on a concrete point, a stimulus from this fixation point will disappear or fade away after 20-something seconds of looking at the depicted illusion. The effect is refined in case the stimulus is blurred, small, of low contrast. The illusion works better when the stimulus is far away from the fixation point. Ignaz Paul Vital Troxler discovered Troxler's fading or Troxler's effect in 1804. The main principle of this illusion trick is that it is part of the general human principle of people's sensory systems that make the stimulus disappear from individuals' awareness after a 20-second observation. For example, if a person places a piece of paper sticking it to the inside of their arm, they can feel its presence for a few moments, but then the sensation starts subsiding. It happens because the tactile neurons have already adjusted to the presence of paper. In case a person brandishes their arm ups and downs, providing varying stimulations, an individual starts feeling the paper until it falls off. A human being can notice the same tendency while looking at the blurry image for several seconds, not blinking or moving. The retinal image of a fixated stimulus is a stabilized retinal image that is made stationary on the retina. A brief flash might induce the afterimage. All these retinal undertakings cause an image to be bleached or vanished by adapting the cones and rods. The stimulus disappears after a short time of observation. This illusion trick might happen without any extraordinary and unusual stabilization of the retinal image through peripheral vision. The neurons have vast receptive fields in the human visual systems beyond the cones and rods. It implies that the slight, involuntary movements of an eye made while fixating on something tend to fail to move the stimulus onto a new receptive field of a cell. This illusion shows that some portion of the perceptual fading happens in the brain but not in the eyes. There is a correlation between Troxler's fading optical illusion and the way people process information. Imagine an individual attending a lecture conducted by a professor with a monotonous tone who does not use falling and rising intonations while presenting their learning material. No wonder that students listening to them begin to be distracted by their thoughts and considerations as they start losing the traits of the conversation. It seems that they have eye contact with a speaker and even feign listening to them, but, in fact, they cannot make out any words spoken by a professor. It happens because an audience adjusts to the particular tone of a conversation, and their interest begins to fade away. In case a professor changes their intonation by utilizing pauses, the falling intonation, or a high rise, listeners' attention returns back on track as it faces a slight stimulation. To get somebody's attention means providing constant impulses and pushes for brain chains that are in charge of individuals' consciences or distractions. There is a close connection between people who possess information via brain, visual, kinesthetic links.